There was a storm outside, but the real storm had been raging inside Marcus King for years. He stood in front of the cracked mirror of his one-room apartment, jaw clenched, eyes darkened by fatigue. The alarm had gone off at 4:45 a.m., the same as it had the last 372 days. No matter how tired, how broken, how hopeless he felt, he got up every single time. Because Marcus wasn't chasing a dream anymore. He was chasing survival, and he was ready to lock the FCK in. 2 years earlier, Marcus had been an average guy, a construction worker during the day, part-time security guard at night. Bills stacked up faster than his paychecks. His mom was sick. His little brother looked up to him. He didn't have the luxury of taking it easy. There was no later, only now. But Marcus had one thing most people didn't, a fire in his gut. A voice that kept screaming, "You were built for more." The problem was, so did the world. People laughed at his big goals. You, a business owner, you think you'll be anything more than what you are? You're wasting your time, man. Every word was a jab, a whisper, a gout, but Marcus learned something important. The world tests you hardest right before you break through. So one day, after getting chewed out by his boss and walking home in the rain, he looked up at the night sky, fists clenched, and said out loud, "It's time. I'm locking the FCK in." The switch. Marcus gave up distractions. He deleted the apps that stole his attention, turned down parties, cut off people who didn't believe in his mission. He replaced scrolling with studying, replaced complaining with grinding. Instead of sleeping 8 hours, he gave up 2 of them to build his future. He studied marketing, watched endless YouTube tutorials, read books from the library, and built a small online business. His first sale, $19.99. He celebrated like it was $1 million. Because that first sale was proof that his sacrifices meant something. He was hungry now, starving, not for food, but for change. The isolation. It wasn't glamorous. He lost friends. He lost relationships. He lost comfort. But he gained clarity. When everyone else was chilling, he was building. When others were sleeping, he was creating. While they laughed at him, he trained in silence. His body changed, stronger. His mindset, unshakable. Because when you lock in, when you really commit, there is no maybe. There is no someday. There is only now and next. The breakthrough. 2 years into the grind, Marcus launched his brand. People who once laughed, now asking for advice. Those who doubted, now watching his motivational videos online. He wasn't a millionaire. Not yet. But he didn't care about that. Because what he had now, discipline, purpose, fire, and unstoppable energy, was worth more than money. He built himself from the ground up. Not because he was lucky. Not because he had connections. But because he locked the FCK in. Message to you. If you're tired of feeling stuck. If you're sick of being average. If you're done watching life pass you by while others win, then it's your time. No more excuses. No more distractions. No more waiting. It's time to lock the FCK in. Because your future doesn't care about your feelings. It cares about your focus. So get up, stay up, show up, every damn day, until the world has no choice but to respect your grind. Most people think success is about what you do when the spotlight is on you. They think it's about followers, likes, money, praise. But Marcus learned the truth in the darkest, quietest hours of his life. Success is built in the shadows. There were days Marcus didn't eat, not because he was fasting, but because his car declined. There were nights he lay on the cold apartment floor, his bed sold for cash. No Netflix, no comfort, no distractions. just silence and his own thoughts. And that's when the real battle began. The battle with himself. Every day, there was a voice in his head whispering, "You're wasting your time. You're not good enough. Just go back to the safe life." But Marcus learned to answer back. He didn't silence the voice. He used it. Because that voice, the one that doubts you, it's not your enemy. It's your signal. It means you're getting closer. The death of the old you. Most people will never become who they're meant to be because they're too attached to who they've been. But Marcus killed the old version of himself. The one who hit snooze. The one who needed approval. The one who broke under pressure. Gone. He became a savage in his routine, ruthless with his discipline. While the world called it too much, Marcus called it necessary. You see, when you want average, you can be balanced. But when you want greatness, you have to go unreasonable. Pain is fuel. Pain taught Marcus how to stay locked in. Pain became his compass. If something scared him, he ran at it. If something challenged him, he leaned into it. Every tear, every hour, every late night, it sharpened him. Because pain either breaks you or it builds you. And Marcus, he used it like bricks. Every failure laid the foundation for his next level. 2 years in, nobody recognized him. Not just physically, mentally. He was calm under pressure, focused, deadly, determined. He launched his second business. This one didn't make $20. It made $20,000 in 1 month. But the money wasn't what changed him. It was the fact that he knew now he could build anything as long as he stayed locked in. He didn't chase success anymore. He became the type of person success chases. Your mission, if you're reading this and your life feels like it's falling apart. If people are doubting you, leaving you, ignoring you. Good. Because that's the moment where champions are made. You don't need hype, you need hunger. Lock in when it's boring. Lock in when you're tired. Lock in when no one claps. Lock in when nothing is working. Because what's on the other side? Power, peace, purpose. This isn't motivation. This is your warning. Lock the FCK in, or be forgotten like the rest. Marcus had momentum. His second business was growing. The discipline was deep in his DNA now. He woke up without an alarm, trained when he didn't feel like it, built when no one believed in him. He was unstoppable. Until the day life punched him in the face, again. The call that changed everything. It was 2:13 a.m. His phone lit up. Mom, hospital. Time slowed. His stomach dropped. She'd been sick before, but this time, he was different. Critical condition. No warning. No time to prepare. Marcus rushed to the hospital, brain racing, chest heavy. This was the woman who raised him on food stamps and prayers, who gave everything for him and asked for nothing back. He sat in that cold hospital room, hours ticking by like years, whispering, "Not now, not when I'm so close. Don't take her from me now." But life doesn't care if you're close. It will test your heart just to see if your spirit breaks. Crisis of purpose. For the first time in years, Marcus missed a training day. He didn't post, didn't build, didn't grind. He sat there, silent, still, as doubt crept back in like a shadow. What's the point? Why keep going if everything can fall apart overnight? Maybe I should just stop. The old Marcus might have cracked. But the man who'd been forged in fire for years, he rose. Because when everything falls apart, you don't go back to survival mode. You go into savage mode. Pain to power. Marcus stayed by his mother's side, but in those quiet moments, while machines beeped and nurses whispered, he still built. He worked on his laptop by her bedside. He recorded voice memos in hospital stairwells. He journaled his thoughts, turned them into powerful messages, and posted them when nobody thought he could. Why? Because he made a decision. No matter what happens, I don't fold. I adapt. I lead. I lock the FCK in. He didn't run from the pain. He stared it down. He didn't let life choose the outcome. He bent life to his will. Victory in the dark. 3 weeks later, his mom stabilized. Doctors called it unexpected. Marcus called it divine timing, the reward for staying locked in when most would have fallen apart. But something inside him shifted. He realized that locking in isn't just about money, discipline, or goals. It's about becoming unbreakable, so that no matter what life throws at you, you keep showing up. You keep rising. You keep becoming the weapon you were born to be. To you reading this, let's be real. If life hasn't tested you yet, it will. You'll lose people. You'll face betrayal. You'll get hit with problems you never saw coming. But when that moment comes, remember Marcus. And remember this. Hard times don't mean it's over. They mean it's time to double down. You've come too far to quit now. So cry if you need to. Breathe if you must. But never, ever unlock. Because real power is staying focused while everything around you burns. Stay locked in. Stay dangerous. Stay legendary. There comes a time in every warrior's journey where the mission changes. At first, Marcus locked in because he was tired of being broke. Then, he locked in because he was chasing greatness. But now he locked in because people were watching him. And depending on him. The shift to legacy, his little brother, once quiet, once broken, was now quoting Marcus's words. His online posts, saving lives. His voice, reaching countries he'd never even been to. It hit him like a bolt of lightning. This is no longer about me. I'm not just building a business. I'm building a blueprint. A blueprint for the kid who feels stuck. For the man who's fighting depression alone. For the woman who's rebuilding herself in silence. Marcus had become a symbol, not of perfection, but of possibility. Responsibility over comfort. You know what's harder than locking in when you're broke? Locking in when you're winning. When you've got money in the bank. When people are clapping. When life is finally comfortable. That's when most people relax. But Marcus, he tightened the screws. Because comfort is the enemy of growth. And growth is the fuel of legacy. He upgraded his circle. He started mentoring. He created systems, not just for business, but for generational wealth. He wasn't chasing clout. He was building an empire, in silence, with discipline, with intention. The return to the mirror. One night, Marcus stood in front of the same cracked mirror where it all started. But this time, it was different. Same eyes, same fire. But now, behind him, a thriving business. A healthy mother, a motivated brother, a growing movement. And still, he whispered to himself, lock the FCK in. Because legends don't stop when they win. They reload. To you, the one reading this right now, you've read this far because something in you is awakening. You're tired of mediocrity. You're done playing small. You're starting to feel that fire in your chest, the call to level up. Let Marcus be the mirror. Let his story be the spark. But remember this, you don't build a legacy with talk. You build it with action, discipline, consistency, and grit. So from this day forward, cut the noise, delete the distractions, train your body, sharpen your mind. Guard your focus like a wolf protects its den. You are legacy, but only if you earn it. There was no backup plan anymore. No maybe. No what if. No escape hatch. No fallback. Marcus burned the ships. The world loves to talk about commitment, but most people are still one bad day away from quitting. One rejection from walking away. One slow month from calling it a failure. Not Marcus. Because when you have no exit plan, there is only one direction, forward. The final test, burnout or breakthrough. 3 years into his mission, Marcus hit a wall. He was running 3 businesses, mentoring, speaking, training, building content, flying state to state, and sleeping 4 hours a night. Even lions get tired. One night, Marcus collapsed mid-recording, fainted from exhaustion, woke up in a hospital, tubes in his arm. The doctors said, "You need to slow down." The team said, "Take a break." Everyone said, "You've done enough." But Marcus, he smiled, because the pain reminded him that he was still alive, still in the fight, still chasing legacy. Why he didn't quit? Marcus wasn't working for applause anymore. He wasn't building for money. He was building because millions of people were still stuck in the place he once was. And as long as someone, somewhere, was about to quit on themselves, he refused to quit on his mission. This wasn't just about him. It was about the single moms grinding in silence, the broken men pretending they're fine, the teenagers who feel invisible, the fighters with no one cheering for them. He became their proof. The movement begins. Marcus started her platform. Not a brand. A movement called No Exit. A reminder that if you're serious about your dream, you don't need permission slips, or plan Bs. You go all in. You bet on yourself so hard the universe has no choice but to fold to your will. He started releasing raw messages, no filters, no fluff, just truth. Millions started tuning in. Not because Marcus was perfect, but because he was real. Final words from Marcus: if you're still waiting for the right time, stop. The pain you're feeling is the sign. The pressure you're under is the signal. You want to know the secret to making it? Decide that there is no exit. Either you become it, or you die trying.